All right, if you're a beginning stamper, you're going to need some paper snips, a bone folder, and you're going to need adhesive of some kind. We currently have the snail adhesive, but we have a new adhesive in the new catalog that I am going to order and try. So if you want to hold off on that, that's fine. I use a lot of the Tombow glue because it gives me a little wiggle room, and if you're a beginning stamper, having that wiggle room is important. So you want to think about having these items as a basic stamping kit. So if you want any of these or need these, I shouldn't say want, if you need these things and you need some help ordering, let me know. Today's card focuses on the Ornate Garden Suite. It uses the Ornate Style stamp set, and I put a rubber band around mine because there are coordinating dies, so I put them together. Now the dies do not cut out the images. The dies for this are border dies. And I have had some fun playing with the borders in here. So they do the borders, not cut out the dies. But if you have an electronic e-cutter, you can easily cut these out. I have fussy cut this one. It's not hard to do because it is so large. The rest of them are used more for accents type things. I've used this one a lot. Ugh, love daisies. So I've seen some fun ideas with this one, so I want to play with this one some more. The other stamp set I used, and I used it for my sentiment, is Thank You, or Ornate Thanks, and I specifically used the Just Wanted to Say out of here. This one comes with decorative label dies, which is a lot of fun to play with. So some ideas, you know, if you don't want to get the dies, you can easily just get the stamp set. But I will tell you that if you order the bundle, which is the stamp set and the dies, you save 10%. The other thing that's part of this suite is the Designer Series paper. I love this paper. Love it, love it, love it. It is just right up my alley with the daisies, and it has some gold foiling to it. Sometimes I wish it was silver, but that's okay. I can live with the gold. I haven't put my bumblebee paper on here yet. Gotta remember to do that one. This set actually says it coordinates with only a few of these colors. It says it coordinates with let's see, Bumblebee, which I don't have, Early Espresso, Mint Macaron, Old Olive, Terracotta Tile, and Whisper White. But I did some further checking, and Pear Pizzazz, which is that one there, goes with it. This one is So Saffron, and I found it like in the background on this. This is Rococo Rose, which to me is this and the background here. Soft Suede, because that's more soft suede than Early Espresso. You can see big difference. High Joyce, and then gold because it has the gold accents. So I found a lot more colors that go with this, which really stretches it. It also includes a ribbon combo pack that has some gorgeous ribbon, which is so easy to tie. And that is the Terracotta Tile and the Old Olive. It has an embossing folder, which gives you a beautiful background embossing. I've used this a lot. And then some gilded gems. So there's a lot to this suite. But I know you're thinking, let's get started stamping. So with that, here is my beginning stamper or a quick and easy stamper card. This one uses the Ornate Style stamp set, Ornate Thanks, but the only thing I used for the Ornate Thanks is that one. So if you have a different stamp set, you can use that. I used Old Olive ink, Rococo Rose ink, I used some blender pens and note cards. So let's make this card first. I'm going to put that up there so it's still, you can still see it. So the note cards are a great value because you get 20 cards, and I hid my bone folder here, 20 cards and envelopes for $7. They are also mailable. Some note cards and envelopes are too small. It has to be 3.5 by 5, which is what this card size is, but the envelope is a little bigger. All right, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my old olive and I'm going to stamp it. Let me turn my other light on so it's a little brighter. I'm going to stamp it in the upper right-hand corner, like so. All right. Then I'm going to take my Rococo Rose ink, and I'm going to stamp this at the bottom. Now, this image is not going to cover the whole thing, but it is simple enough that you can, and I'll show you some tips and tricks, that you can use it to stamp across the bottom. If you look at your stamp, there's a lot of space here, probably about not quite 1/4 of an inch. You have extra space here and extra space here. There's less space here. So when I stamp this, I put this edge over here, and I take the bottom of this and line it up with the bottom of my card base. So I make sure I get it straight and stamp it. And you can barely see that I've left a little bit over, and it's okay if it goes off. And then to do the other side, I'm going to take that piece and I'm going to overlap this stamping just slightly. I got to make sure it's straight. And see, now that's overlapped a little too much. I didn't readjust it when I did it, but that's okay. It doesn't matter because it's a handmade card. Nobody's going to notice that. And then the last thing you need to do is to take, for right now, for stamping wise, is to take your sentiment. Ooh, I did it too hard on that edge. I caught that edge, which means I'll end up, if you get ink on your block, because the small ones, they're not long enough for this, so you have to use a bigger one. Just take and wipe it off. And I'm going to open this back up because I've got it on my finger. Oh. All right. And I'm going to stamp that right in the middle. And then you can stamp the inside any way you want. I don't know where I got that ink. If you do something like that, take your Gilded Gems, put it on top, you're fine. Now, I wanted to color this. And normally, when you color with dye-based ink or water-based ink, which is what ours are, it bleeds. If you take a blender pen, put ink on your block, and then use your blender pen, you can quickly color this in. And this is easy coloring because you're just doing circles. Color it in, and it does not smear the ink. Now, if you noticed, I stamped this first and then stamped my other things so that this had a little bit of time to dry. So I'm going to quickly color this in like so. And like I said, I'm just going in circles. I'm not worried if there's some white that doesn't get colored, because even in nature, flowers are not all white or all colored. They have some white showing on them. So let's see how quickly you can color this in. And the other thing you want to remember to do when you're finished coloring is you want to remember to clean off your blender pen because the blender pen is picking up the ink and going into the tip. And if you don't clean this off, which I'm going to grab this, and to clean it, you just scribble on it. If you don't clean this off, it will go up into your pen and it will stay that color. I want to move this. I don't know if it'll go through. It'll stay that color, and then you've kind of made your own marker. So this is a way to use markers without having to buy them. Blender pens are not expensive. You get 3 for $10. You can use them over and over, and you just scribble till it runs clear. And even though this is stained, it will not come out. That color will not bleed onto your next project. So let me move this out of the way, and you can see there is the beginner stamper card. Quick and easy, not hard to do. If you don't have note cards and you have paper, you can very easily create this same look using paper, white cardstock, and put it on a full-size card. Now, it may need a little bit more to it, but I'm going to show you how to do that. So there's that one, and I will be hiding that since I made a mistake. Okay, so now that we've done the beginner card, let's look at a stepped up version, which is our casual stamper. Your casual stamper has, and I ended up accidentally printing on the back of that, has few of the supplies in the kit. They may have some of the designer series paper, and they may have the ribbon combo pack. So they would take and they would do the same thing, but step it up. We are going to add a layer and step it up. So if you're the casual stamper and have some more supplies, you would need the Ornate style stamp set, the Ornate Thanks stamp set, Old Olive cardstock, Old Olive ink, Rococo Rose ink, blender pens, note cards, the Ornate Garden DSP, and the Ornate Garden ribbon pack. So the only thing I added on were the 2 at the bottom. All right, so let's see how to put this card together. So I took and I stamped and colored my image just like the beginner stamper did. I'm going to take that image and I'm going to add it to a layer of Old Olive. Okay. Let's see. So I'm going to add that to the Old Olive piece, like so. This is my designer series paper, and I chose to use this side, and I'm going to add that just down the side, and I should have stamped my sentiment after, so keep that in mind. My part of my sentiment is going to be covered up. So stamp your sentiment last. I didn't think of that when I stamped this preparing. All right, so I added that. I've got glue on my hand somehow. All right, I'm going to add that to my card base. Use that bone folder to give you a good crisp fold. And let's add this one. I probably put my fingers in the glue. When I was putting the other one together. All right, so I've got that. And if it's not even, you got a little bit of space. And then I'm going to add a bow, which I have already tied and put on a glue dot. Oops, I forgot the glue dots. So I'm going to, and I just tied a simple knot. Here's the, all I did was looped it around, tied a knot, pulled it, but don't pull it tight. Use your glue dots here and here so that it doesn't come untied. So you get a nice looking knot. So there's a way to use something besides a bow. So there's your casual stamper card.